Right now, it is the first day of early voting ahead of the state primary elections. What you need to know.
Plus a water upgrade, how a local community plans to increase quality and capacity.
And we have 2 alert days in your forecast, Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll have all you need to know to stay safe.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 Now This Morning. I'm Kyrian Lee.
I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Got a lot to talk about this morning. First day you can start voting in person absentee for the August primary. It's just crazy to think that here we are, we're that close to people casting votes already.
Yes, to the primary, to the general election, the next thing. It's all coming so quickly.
It's like it all starts now. That's what it feels like. It's like we've been talking about it for so long, and it's like this is a big step as people can actually start casting ballots for the August primary. 2 alert days, though, in the forecast. We also have to talk about this morning. Meteorologist Vanna Brito is out on the patio. You've been saying it's not feeling as humid out there, though, this morning. Yeah,
it's not quite as sticky as what we had yesterday, but moisture levels will again increase, and we could have near 75-degree dew points. We'll at least be near the 70-degree mark, lower to mid-70 dew points by the afternoon. But temperatures, those are really going to heat up. We'll be near 90. The heat could limit some storms. I think overall the best chance of strong to severe thunderstorms remains to our southwest today, but we still have to watch for the possibility of seeing some of that enter some of southern Wisconsin. That's why we do have 2 alert days today, and tomorrow might have to call for alert day conditions on Thursday, thinking the Storm Prediction Center will shift that a little bit further towards the border compared to what they have right now, which I'll show coming up. But I do think all modes of severe weather would remain possible. We'll really have to watch for damaging winds or just the wind threat in general, and then also the heavy rains. Here's the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook. So you can see that yellow color. That's where the best chance of severe weather is going to remain, but we still could see some of those storms track a little bit further north than this. There might be an update as we head towards 11 a.m. I'll have what future track could look like later this afternoon and evening coming up a little later. All right, Savannah, thank you. A reminder, folks, you can stay on top of the alert day conditions and get ahead of the storms yourself. Just download the free First Warn Weather and Traffic app. Well, we are 2 weeks out now from the August election. That means early in-person absentee voting begins today.
That's right, and Michelle Renee Quinn is here with the details. So can you tell us, where can we vote and what do we need to vote?
Well, most public libraries across town will be open today until the Sunday before Election Day in order to vote. You do need to be registered, but you can do that at the same location during absentee voting hours. Just know there is no registration 3 days prior to the election. That's the Saturday, Sunday, and Monday before Election Day, but you can register to vote the day of the election at polling places. You do need to bring proper identification, and that includes a Wisconsin driver's license or ID. Unlike some states, Wisconsin does not have separate voter ID cards, but other forms of identification like military IDs are valid. You can find a list to confirm your proof of identity on the Wisconsin Elections Commission's website. Voters who are turning 18 in these next 2 weeks can turn to the DMV for help as well. To obtain an official ID card, state law requires documentation such as a birth certificate. So the DMV has a process for citizens to obtain a receipt valid for voting while the remaining verifications are collected. So if this applies to you or you have questions regarding obtaining an ID that can be used to vote, contact the DMV toll-free hotline. It's on your screen now. That's 844-588-1069. The City of Madison has a list of public libraries on their website that can help you find a voting location that's convenient for you.
All right, Michelle Renee, good information starting today. I can't believe that it's here already. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And with the state primary elections just 2 weeks away, as mentioned, voters in Dane County have a clear look at the candidates for county executive.
4 candidates running to succeed. Current County Administrator Joe Parisi. They appeared at a forum last night. We'll get to that in a minute. Here are the candidates. State Senator Melissa Agard, RCC Sexual Violence Resource Center Director Dana Pellebon, and Director of the Tamara Grisby Office of Equity and Inclusion, Wes Sparkman, as well as Madison Alder, Regina Vittever.
And the League of Women Voters and the UW-Madison Center for Communication and Civic Renewal co-sponsored the forum at Madison Sequoia Library. Each candidate had the opportunity to make their case for being the next county executive.
I am excited to be running to be your next county executive, and with your trust and your vote, I know that we can continue to build a county where everyone can thrive and prosper.
As your next county executive, I pledge to bring my collaborative, effective, data-driven leadership skills to make sure Dane County is a place where everyone can thrive.
I'm running to be your next Dane County executive. My vision for Dane County is to see a county where everyone has an opportunity to grow and thrive.
I have been on so many boards and so many committees. I could spend the next hour and a half going through them. But what's most important to know is that I have been here in the community doing the work of the community, with the community, by the community.
Attendees were able to ask questions to the candidates. They covered topics such as climate change, housing access, prison reform, and public safety. The top two finishers will face off in the special election in November. The winner of that vote will become county executive. They will hold office until the next regular election for the position next April. One small Wisconsin community is getting a big boost to help maintain its water.
The USDA is giving New Glarus a loan of more than $2 million to make it happen. Our Ellie LaLiberte shows us how that could impact folks.
Conversations around getting this money to the community have been in the works for about 10 to 15 years. One local business owner I talked to today says she's excited it's here.
I have lived in New Glarus for, since 1976.
Brenda Sigenthaler owns 3 stores in the village of New Glarus, one of which is a flower shop.
One of the first things we do is turn on the water, and we're watering plants, we're washing windows.
She uses water to run her businesses every day.
Well, I've watched our community grow in all areas, not only just water, but our needs, our housing, all our needs are growing.
Needs that are starting to be met. Now the village is receiving a loan of $2.3 million from the USDA Rural Development. The goal of the loan program is to increase water quality and capacity.
What this money is going to do is put in a second reservoir for the village so that they're able to meet their current water needs as well as to expand in the future.
The new water storage tank will add 300,000 gallons to the village's capacity. USDA Rural Development is working with New Glarus to make it happen.
It's unique to each water project, so it's not a cookie cutter. We really look at and we listen to and work with the people in the community.
And for business owners like Brenda,
Getting this kind of help is huge.
she says this project is an investment with a payoff that will last years.
I just love to see all the improvements that are happening in New Glarus, and it's just really exciting to me.
The goal is to break ground on this project by the end of the year. Reporting in New Glarus, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
This project will also add upgrades to existing utility communication and data systems in the village.
Now to health news. UW Health and Epic are collaborating to outline recommendations for rolling out and regulating artificial intelligence in healthcare. Recommendations in their latest report include ensuring AI healthcare access regardless of patient location, clear guardrails around AI definitions, and a balance between innovation and safety. The UW Health Chief Information and Digital Officer says that transparency and protecting the patient are some of the most important takeaways from this summit.
While we look to continue to leverage the benefits of the technology, we will do so with a sense of responsibility, a sense of ethics, and a balance to equity, and not shortchange to reduce the empathy factor of healthcare that we are all signed up to do with technology.
He asked everyone to keep an open mind when looking into these reports. He says if providers wait for things to be perfect, they'll fall behind with patient access and workforce shortage issues.
Happening tomorrow, it's the season grand finale of the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's Concerts on the Square. We'll have live coverage of the iconic Rhapsody in Blue, special guest pianist John Novacek. You can start saving your spot at the King Street corner beginning at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
And organizers do say that they will make any weather-related decisions tomorrow afternoon. So, of course, there's a lot to get to and think about today.
They're going to be watching the radar closely. A little bit too far out, though, to determine exactly how much of an impact, if any, the weather's going to have on concerts, though, right?
Yeah, basically just because it depends on what happens tonight, how afternoon and evening storms are going to form. That could affect that tomorrow, but we do have an alert day in the forecast today and tomorrow. Might have to call for alert day conditions on Thursday, as well as we are watching the potential for severe weather even into the 4th day of the work week.
Savannah, thank you. And coming up, hear from some Badger football players ahead of fall camp. That's next in sports.
And we're in the 608 this morning with a preview to our News 3 Now Back to School Supply Drive. What you need to know to help local families as we get ready for the new school year.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Brought to you by Toyota.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Right now, lease a new Tacoma for $319 a month or get 2.99% APR for 60 months on a new Tundra. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
After driving cattle in the 1880s, hitting the hay could be a literal experience. But some lucky cowpokes got to sack out in a brand new Sealy mattress. And after 140 years, Sealy is still delivering a great night's sleep. That's why Denver Mattress is proud to offer the Sealy Posturepedic Plus Hybrid. With cool-to-touch covers, body-hugging memory foams, and motion-reducing coils, you'll sleep cooler and more comfortably all night long. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Sealy.
Oh, another morning to savor the crunchy nooks and cranny splendor of a Thomas's English muffin.
Tom, which is a nook and which is a cranny?
That's a nook, cranny, 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 nook, cranny. I mean, they should be teaching you this in school.
Huzzah! A toast to breakfast. We all share the same roads. But when accidents happen, we don't always share the same consequences. Big trucks can cause big damage. Injuries can be severe and may require a lifetime of care and compensation. Call Gruber Law Offices today. We've been fighting and winning for people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Let us do the same for you. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hanson's windows, roofing, siding, gutters, bathtubs, and showers are guaranteed. Get 50% off installation or enjoy no interest and no payments for 1 year.
Call 1-800-Hansons. Get it done.
You'll soon vote on 2 misleading constitutional amendments. They're designed to trick voters into eliminating checks and balances in our government. It's a power grab to give the MAGA politicians in the legislature the sole power to distribute emergency funding. They gerrymander, deny elections, and push abortion bans. Don't give MAGA politicians the sole power. Vote no to questions 1 and 2.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month. Call 1-833-376-4999.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too. Call now.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
6:12 on your Tuesday morning. The new school year is right around the corner in the 608, and we're gearing up for the annual News 3 Now Back to School Drive.
Josh Breider is here with how we can help out those families this year. Hey, good morning, Josh.
Hey, good morning, guys. So we are looking ahead to the brand new school year, of course, which is just a few weeks away now. And with it comes our annual Back to School Supply Drive. We're hoping you can help us make it another successful school year for local kids. Starting this Monday, we're hoping to once again stuff the bus. News 3 Now and the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County are partnering once again to collect donations and school supplies for area students. Lamers Bus Lines, Midwest Financial Group, and Metcalf's Markets are joining the effort as this year's title sponsors. Again, the Back to School Supply Drive launches Monday, August 5th with a special Stuff the Bus collection event. Volunteers will be accepting your donations from 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the school bus located in front of Metcalf's Market at Hilldale Shopping Center. We're looking for those much-needed school supplies such as backpacks, folders, notebooks, pens, and pencils. Our Back to School Supply Drive runs until Friday, August 16th. So we'll have 2 full weeks to make it happen. You can learn more about how to help at channel3000.com. Boy, it feels like we just did this yesterday. This new school year is already here. Isn't that wild?
It really does feel like it was just here. We cannot do this without the community's help. I mean, everyone has been so generous. from when we started this a few years ago. It's just built year after year, and hopefully this year we can pack that bus in no time.
You know, and the stories that come out of it too, it's emotional for a lot of families, right? That grew up and maybe they had somebody that helped them make it a successful school year. Now they're hoping to give back to the community. So that's why it really takes this whole community to step up. And Kyron, I'm excited for you to see just how big of a deal this is right here.
I mean, I'm excited because I like to see that we're helping hundreds of students across the area, which is amazing.
Giving them a way to really make this year the best year yet. That's what we're all about.
Just take that burden off the back.
For sure.
Yes.
It's important.
All right, let's do it, Josh.
Let's do it.
Thanks. Josh is always looking for inspiration to share in the 608. If you have an idea you'd like to see on TV, let him know about it.
Well, in other news, heavy heat in Paris is impacting the Summer Olympics. Highs above 96 degrees are expected today. Experts say temperatures like that and higher could begin to affect athletes. They have also said that the heat could help lower the bacteria count in the Seine River, which will be used for the swimming leg of the triathlon. That projection didn't work out. Today's men's triathlon was postponed. Now organizers are considering reducing the sports events to a duathlon for this year if the Seine does not become suitable.
Well, we're going to start to heat up here. Not quite that hot. We do have 2 alert days in your forecast. Savannah Burrito here now to break it all down for us. Hey, Savannah, what are we in for?
Hey, guys. Yeah, we could see a couple different rounds of strong to even severe thunderstorms both today and tomorrow. That would include and affect the afternoon and evening and potentially a second round overnight both today and tomorrow all across southern Wisconsin. This is the latest Storm Prediction Center's outlook for today, keeping the best chance of severe weather to our southwest. That's even southwest of the Platteville area. I think that's where the line is going to move in from. So Iowa and Illinois, northern Illinois, going to have the better chance of seeing strong to severe storms, but we still could see some locally. All severe weather modes would be possible, but really hitting at the heavy rain that we could see and then the damaging or gusty wind threat. Isolated hail and a very isolated tornado threats also there. This is then for Wednesday, still keeping that marginal widespread risk. And then even into Thursday, they might cause upgrades or downgrades to this and kind of a shift south closer to the border, thinking that's where the stationary front's going to cause a bigger impact or the better chance of severe weather. So not calling for alert day conditions yet, but we'll have to watch with how models are coming together for Thursday. But overall, watching the threat for Thursday, first and foremost today and tomorrow, those potential couple different rounds, afternoon and evening, and then the potential second round overnight where all modes of severe weather would be possible. But again, gusty winds and also heavy rain are going to be our main threats, at least locally across southern Wisconsin. Those storms are going to form over southern Minnesota and northern Iowa and then track in, causing probably a bigger impact. I think this model does a pretty good job at what's going to happen. Really where that slight risk or yellow color is, keeping the best chance of storms to our southwest, but we could see some stronger storms near the Platteville area or down towards the border. Definitely northern Illinois going to get a better chance of strong to severe storms. The heavy rain could cause some impacts to us locally as well. Moving out of here, but then that potential second round that comes late overnight into early Wednesday morning. 63 in Madison, so temperatures are still falling. It's not as warm as what we saw yesterday, but we are going to see temperatures warm up to near 90. The heat index, though, that could actually top out in the mid to upper 90s today and tomorrow. The heat could cause an effect or impact, not able to squeeze out those strong to severe thunderstorms. The heat could play an impact on the overall capability or possibility of seeing strong storms. 87 Thursday. Temperatures are going to fall a little bit for the weekend, but not much. Still forecasting 85.
It's critical and it's important for us to get this thing off on the right foot, get started, get rolling. We're a lot further along, but boy, the 33 days is going to be really, really important for us.
Last year at this time, the hype surrounding Wisconsin football was huge. The talk was about championships, but after a 7-win season, the noise around the program is a bit different. As Andrew Banster found out at Media Day, though, the Badgers are planning to build in 2024.
Last year for Wisconsin, everything was brand new. I'm talking coaches, I'm talking playbook, you name it. But now the foundation has been set, and heading into the second year of the Luke Fickell era, the Badgers are ready to build.
It just feels like last year, me and Roosh were obviously the older ones in the group, and felt like we were just as lost as Tuck and JT and all the freshmen and stuff. And it was just like, it was tough because we didn't truly have anybody to kind of look to for answers.
We feel really good. Kind of first year with a new coaching staff, it's hard really to get everybody acclimated and for everybody to adapt. You got some guys that aren't all the way in, all the way invested, but I think now with the team, we all have that same goal and more focused mindset I've seen throughout the team this offseason.
The difference is, though, we have so many people now, so many players in these rooms that know everything. And so the learning curve this year for the new guys is not what it was last year. We still had coaches learning. I mean, I didn't know the restroom was until April, you know what I mean? So it was just everybody, and I had not worked with Fick on a day-to-day basis.
I think the difference is the confidence within the team, the confidence within the program, and you got a lot of guys, truly trusting themselves, believing in themselves, believing in the team where, we can go out and put the best product on the field on Saturday.
The Badgers packed their bags and headed south for Platteville as fall camp kicks off on Tuesday, something players told me they can't wait to get started. At Camp Randall Stadium, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
Well, the MLB trade deadline is this afternoon, but Pat Murphy's club was making moves on a Monday, adding an arm to his pitching staff, and it's a good one. The Brewers are getting Frankie Montas from the Reds. Willie Adames has some thoughts on the trade. Let's just say I think he liked it. Down 2-1 in the sixth, and Adames sends a 3-run jack way back. Brewers get the win 8-3 in the final. And that's it for morning sports. Have a great day.
Time now 6:20. Still ahead, Culver's is partnering up with a Badger football legend.
And in our next half hour, I'll be back talking about the $600 million Madison schools referendum. How much it will cost property owners.
Eric Franke, News 3 Now at 5, 6, and 10. Moving forward.
Not everyone knows us, but in southern Wisconsin, Illinois, and eastern Indiana, we are famous in our field. As a Sloan's technician, customer service is our specialty, whether you come to see us or we come to you. We are in the business of supporting your business, and we are highly trained to work on your John Deere equipment. At Sloan's, our loyalty lies with you. We depend on you, and we are proud to serve you. When it comes to service, you can count on us. Remember, think Sloan's first.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Right now, lease a new Tacoma for $319 a month or get 2.99% APR for 60 months on a new Tundra. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Get 20% off during Hy-Vee's frozen food sack sale. One day only, this Tuesday. That's right, get 20% off all frozen food you can fit in a sack. Get 20% off frozen meals, 20% off frozen pizzas, 20% off frozen breakfast, 20% off frozen treats. Get 20% off all frozen food you can fit in a sack. Don't miss the frozen food sack sale. One day only, this Tuesday. Only at Hy-Vee.
Watch this. It's all 100% real. Witness what happens to this woman's bags under her eyes in an actual time lapse in just minutes. Nothing has been doctored or tampered with. The very real problem will disappear before your eyes and hers with a revolutionary topical formulation that works in just minutes, and the effects will last for hours and hours. Over 1 million people are using this topical technique to visually reduce puffiness and bags. It works on sagging jowls, even fine lines and wrinkles on the face and forehead. Introducing Plexiderm. In just minutes, you can restore and beautify your face, even look years younger. And the look will last all day or all evening.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm just in love with the mirror right now.
Jump on board and say yes to this amazing $14.95 Prove It Plexiderm trial. You'll see why our customers describe Plexiderm with 3 words. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Order right now. We'll pay your shipping. Operators are standing by.
Now 5, now 15, now 5.
Experience the thrill of a live auction and get a great deal on an RV. The Ultimate RV Auction is being hosted at Camping World in Madison, Wisconsin, Friday, August 2nd at 1 p.m. Central Time. Over 100 RVs are up for grabs with bids starting at $1 and no reserves on select units. Bid in person or online at cwauctions.com. Pre-bidding is going on now. Preview the inventory and place your bid today.
It's 6:24 on your Tuesday morning. Take a look at this here. This is a heart-shaped cloud. Look at the image there. This is beautiful. It is from Debbie.
I like that it's different than like the ones behind it too.
That's showing a lot of love for News 3 this morning.
Yeah. Yes, I love that. Continue to send in your photos to us. Again, Debbie, thank you.
All right, I wanted to talk about a couple of Wisconsin icons coming together. Talking about Culver's and J.J. Watt. The UW Athletics Hall of Famer now has his own signature meal. Culver's Deluxe Double Cheeseburger there. Wisconsin cheese curds, Culver's signature root beer, combined with a turtle sundae with chocolate fresh frozen custard. It's going to be available starting next Monday through most of September. Culver's is going to donate $1 from each sale to the J.J. Watt Foundation, which helps out after-school athletic programs. It's a lot of food.
I know,
Yes.
I really want the ice cream right now.
A lot of food, but for a good cause. So don't get this every day, obviously. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Once a week, right?
You know, for a guy like J.J. Watt, who's enormous, he's a huge athlete, I could see him going through all these calories.
A little bit, yeah.
Seems like a little much to me, though. Maybe we can split it up.
Yeah.
And split it 4 ways. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
Good idea.
So meantime, McDonald's is in some trouble. Year-over-year sales across the globe fell 1%. Might not sound like a lot, but that is huge for a fast food chain. Sales fell by that much during the pandemic. That was the last time they saw this, so they are hurting right now. And it's not just McDonald's. Starbucks, Burger King, Wendy's, and other rivals are also reporting less foot traffic and lower overall sales. A lot of customers are pulling back because of inflation. What do you guys think? Are you eating as much fast food as you were years ago?
No, I think when I was a kid, I would eat a lot of fast food, but I like cooking. It's just, you get more meals out of it, I feel like.
Totally.
My window doesn't roll down, so there's no drive-through action for me.
Way to set itself out. It's all
There you
right.
go. I like that method.
Yes.
You break your window and then you don't have
Save
to go.
money.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Drive into summer with a new Honda. Heading out for a day at the beach or a weekend in the mountains. Make an impression with the unmistakable style of the HR-V or turn heads in the sporty Civic. And when you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So act now to get an offer you'll love. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
Joe Biden put Kamala Harris in charge of the border.
We have a secure border.
On Kamala's watch, illegal border crossings hit record highs. Criminal illegal aliens are murdering Americans. Cartels are poisoning kids. And illegals are receiving taxpayer benefits and putting more burdens on hardworking taxpayers.
We have a secure border.
Kamala Harris is dishonest and dangerous. Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet? Commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
You're all looking for something new.
New?
At US Cellular, new and current customers can get the new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 or Z Fold 6 on us.
I usually just try out a new look, but that sounds lit.
I heard their cameras have new Galaxy AI features.
Have what?
Galaxy AI.
Gonna get one now.
I'm fine.
New and current customers get the new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 or Z Fold 6 on us. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Dad, are you certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint for certain.
Right now, Madison police are looking for this man, what he's suspected of, and what to do if you see him.
Plus, Madison schools asking voters for a massive boost in funding, what it would go towards, and what it would cost taxpayers.
And 2 alert days remain in your forecast. Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll have all the latest coming up.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning on a Tuesday. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thank you for waking up with us on this busy weather day for us here.
In-person absentee voting starts today.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? We're that far along in the year already. We're talking about back to school as well.
Like 2024 is almost over. I don't want to rush it, but
pump the brakes.
Please.
That's what I'm saying.
Got a lot on our plate here.
2 alert days to talk about as well. Let's get out to meteorologist Savannah Brito and look at those alert day forecasts. What are we in for?
Guys, I think all modes of severe weather would be possible today and tomorrow, and several rounds, potentially strong to severe thunderstorms as we head for Tuesday and Wednesday. Right now, those are your only 2 alert days. Watching Thursday, too, thinking the Storm Prediction Center might shift that outlook a little further south, closer to the Illinois-Wisconsin border. Today, though, I think the better threat stays southwest of southern Wisconsin. That doesn't mean we can't rule out a few isolated strong to severe thunderstorms that would lead to gusty winds. That first and foremost going to be our biggest threat. Also, could see some heavy rain with this too. A line or cluster of storms that'll form over Iowa and then track in, even weakening across northern Illinois. But if those are able to hold strength, we could see them kind of just mainly southwest of Madison, near the Platteville area, also Monroe, and down towards Rockford as well. Temperatures, though, not quite as warm as what we had yesterday. 63 right now in Madison. Also, the thing to note, it's going to be hot today. Temperatures near 90. We'll talk about how high heat index values could go and also show future track what that could look like and that storm timeline for later this afternoon. That's all coming up a little later.
Savannah, thank you so much. And News 3 Now's meteorologists will be tracking the potential for storms throughout the day, as mentioned, and you can receive those updates directly to your phone by downloading the free First Warn weather app. Just search WISC Weather in your app store.
If you're not paying attention to your screen, folks, take a look at this picture from Madison Police. Officers are looking for this man this morning. They say he is a suspect in a sexual assault that happened on a bike trail this past weekend. It happened along a bike path near Carpenter Street just after 10 o'clock Saturday morning. Police say that this man grabbed a woman from behind while inappropriately touching himself. He was last seen riding an electric skateboard on the path in the area of Shopco Drive and Aberg Avenue. Detectives working to identify him this morning, so if you recognize him or have any information about that assault, contact Madison Area Crime Stoppers. You can call that number on your screen or submit a tip anonymously online at p3tips.com. Absentee voting sites are going to be open this morning.
That's right. It marks 2 weeks from the day of the primary election in August. So to get an absentee ballot, you'll need to show a valid ID. If you're not sure whether you have what's required, you can find a list of valid IDs on the City of Madison's website. There, you'll also find a list of early voting locations. You can vote early from now until the Sunday before Election Day. You cannot register to vote the Saturday, Sunday, or Monday before Election Day. But people voting on August 13th can register the day of at the polls. For more information about where to cast your vote and when those locations are open, you can head to this story on our website, channel3000.com, for a link to the city's website.
On the ballot are 2 state constitutional amendments. Governor Evers wants voters to vote no. Question 1 asks voters to ask for your support to amend the Constitution to bar the legislature from delegating its power to appropriate money. Question 2 asks for support amending the state's constitution to require the legislature's approval before the governor can spend federal funds given to Wisconsin. Republicans say it's a necessary check on the governor's power. This week, though, the governor accused the legislature of putting the questions on the August ballot to better the odds of it passing. He said that think about how it's being changed right now in August when maybe 15 to 20% of Wisconsin is voting. It's essentially weakening the executive branch of government, no matter who's there.
And we're continuing to look ahead to the November election. Madison voters will see 2 questions from Madison schools on their ballot asking for $600 million.
$600 million. That is quite a bit of money for the Madison School District to ask for. Most of that is going to would go towards repairing and rebuilding schools. It's a lot to break down. So Michelle Renee Quinn is here to tell us exactly where this money is going to go, and perhaps more importantly, what exactly it's going to cost property owners in Madison. Michelle Renee.
Yes, so these are 2 questions to vote on. There's $100 million for an operational referendum, which would help pay for things like teachers and programs, and $500 million would go towards 5 district buildings that need to be rebuilt entirely. Now, each of those buildings that need to be rebuilt are middle schools. That includes Cherokee Heights, Senate, Blackhawk, Toki, and Sherman. Most of the schools on the list lack air conditioning and use outdated heating and electrical systems. The 2023 facilities assessment indicated that these schools are reaching the end of their life expectancy. Now, let's talk about what this will cost the average homeowner. The district says by 2028, property tax bills will go up $1,300. Now, one thing to keep in mind is voters approved a $350 million referendum just 4 years ago, and most of that went to renovating the high schools, and construction is in the final stages, set to wrap up this fall.
When I did the reporting on this 4 years ago in the big 2020 referendum, which was, like you said, $350 million, that was an increase of a few $100s a year on your property tax bill, and there's 18 years left on the 2020 referendum to pay for the renovations to the high schools, and now Madison School's back again asking for $600 million in total here. I understand the money's got to come from somewhere, and it looks like it's going to be Madison voters if we're going to see these improvements and the operational costs that are run out now. The last referendum asked for 4 years of operational spending, and that ends this year. So in order to keep more of that going, to retain teachers and some programs, they're going to have to ask for it again.
Trying to be proactive here, it seems like.
All right, a lot to get to. Thank you, Michelle Renee, to break it down for us this morning.
Absolutely.
And just as a reminder, MMSD isn't the only school district that is asking taxpayers for more money. In April, people in McFarland voted against an operational referendum with 60% voting no. News 3 Now's Armand Rahman shows how the district's grappling with that decision and what it plans for the future.
School district leaders say they've been spending the summer working with the community to see how best to address a $2.5 million budget gap with the least impact to students' education.
How the funds would be used, how they would help the district.
Those are questions Superintendent Aaron Tarnitzer says residents asked during the second of 2 referendum engagement meetings Sunday evening.
There is a sense of urgency. The district would really like to have a stable budget that we know we can depend on.
This past school year, without the April referendum, the district had to make $1.2 million in budget cuts, not filling many teacher and staff positions. Without a referendum in November, the district would have to increase class sizes and potentially cut more staff.
The $2.5 million deficit that we are facing, that is the equivalent of 23 positions covering their salary and benefits.
The district came up with 3 referendum options for November. Option 1 would see taxes go up about $1,500 over 4 years for a property valued at $400,000. It would require an additional $1.6 million in district budget cuts and no increase to salaries. Option 2 would see taxes go up about $1,600 over 4 years, but with no more cuts and no salary increase. Option 3 would see property taxes go up just short of $1,800 over 4 years, with no budget cuts for the district and allowing them to raise starting salaries to about $47,000.
I think all 3 of these proposals are losers.
And the referendum seemed to just come out of the blue.
District leaders say they understand inflation caused many to vote no in April.
We really are asking with gravitas because the situation has the potential to change drastically overnight.
The school board has to decide if they want to put a referendum on the November ballots by the end of August. Reporting in McFarland, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
To the presidential campaign now, you might see digital billboards like these popping up around the Madison area soon. They are against former President Donald Trump. They're to show people who say they're former Trump voters who are now pledging their support for Vice President Kamala Harris. The group Republican Voters Against Trump is sponsoring the ad campaign. Similar billboards are up in other key swing states like Michigan and Pennsylvania. The campaign's also running a minute-long ad on streaming in YouTube aimed at convincing center-right voters that Trump is unfit for office. WISC Politics also reporting today is the first day that the Trump campaign will have TV ads in the state. Trump's campaign has reserved more than $1 million between tomorrow and August 12th, the day before the primary, on broadcasting cable. So far, Democrats have been outspending Trump in our state.
A blow to the Biden administration's mission to combat junk fees. A federal appeals court is temporarily blocking a new Department of Transportation rule. It required airlines to disclose their fees up front along with airfare pending a review. The judge sides with the airlines, saying the regulations might be exceeding the DOT's authority. But the department says its rules stop consumers from getting hit with surprise fees.
Ratings-wise,
that whole team is, their abilities are beyond words there.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. All right, go USA.
Yes.
All right, Savannah, what's coming up in our forecast?
We do have a marginal risk and 2 alert days today and tomorrow. I'll talk about the threats we could see across southern Wisconsin.
And we're looking ahead to the News 3 Now Back to School Supply Drive, what you need to know to help local kids in the 608.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO.
Joe Biden put Kamala Harris in charge of the border.
We have a secure border.
On Kamala's watch, illegal border crossings hit record highs. Criminal illegal aliens are murdering Americans. Cartels are poisoning kids. And illegals are receiving taxpayer benefits and putting more burdens on hardworking taxpayers.
We have a secure border.
Kamala Harris is dishonest and dangerous. Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. Amazing offers and a great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series, gas, hybrid, or all-electric. These are the deals you've been waiting for. So don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Make it Flex Buy on a new Ford F-150 and get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $2,000 Flex Buy cash only at your local Wisconsin Ford dealer.
It's going to be another sizzling hot summer. Don't burn up your money on high energy bills. Get new energy-efficient windows from Champion.
We have saved 25 to 30% on our energy bill since installing the windows, which blew my mind.
Stay cool and save 35% off new Champion windows. Plus, get an extra $100 off every window. The more you buy, the more you save. Save 35% off your new Champion windows and $100 off every window you buy.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Teens have drama.
1 more minute.
Braces add more drama.
Oh, how does anyone do this?
Invisalign is better oral hygiene and no drama.
The most eventful weeks in political history.
Breaking news tonight after shots ring out.
News 3 Now brought you team coverage.
Coming to you live from Milwaukee.
I've been in talks with delegates from all over the country.
Donald Trump unveils his choice for running mate.
Could bring extra votes from the swing state to the Republican Party.
Every step of the way.
He is dropping out of the 2024 presidential race.
Provides a whole lot of new energy for Democrats.
The path to the White House goes through Wisconsin.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
More on your Tuesday. The new school year is right around the corner in the 608, and we're gearing up for the annual News 3 Now Back to School Drive.
Josh Breider is here to tell us how we can help out those families in need this year. Josh Breider, I can't believe we're already talking back to school.
Isn't it crazy? I feel like the year just flew by. The summer's flying by too. So we're looking ahead to the brand new school year, which is just a few weeks away now. With it comes our annual back to school supply drive. We're hoping you can help us make it another successful school year for local kids. So starting this Monday, we're hoping to once again stuff the bus. News 3 Now and the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County are partnering once again to collect donations and school supplies for area students. Lamers Bus Lines, Midwest Financial Group, and Metcalf's Markets are joining the effort as this year's title sponsors. Again, the Back to School Supply Drive launches Monday, August 5th with a special Stuff the Bus collection event. Volunteers will be accepting your donations from 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the school bus located in front of Metcalf's Market at Hilldale Shopping Center. We're looking for those much-needed school supplies such as backpacks, folders, notebooks, pens, and pencils. Our Back to School Supply Drive runs until Friday, August 16th. So 2 weeks to make it happen. You can learn more about how to help at channel3000.com. On Monday morning, starting at 6 a.m., I will be out there. We're also going to have Michelle Renee. Savannah's going to be out there. We're going to have crews out there all day long. So come out and say hi and help make a difference.
And this impact here, helping so many families, kids in need, and just taking that burden off people's back. Like, I just can't wait to see what this community can do.
Well, we've been reporting too on just how much those school supplies have gone up in recent years. Like, it's a lot harder for families, especially if you have 2, 3, 4 kids. That is a lot of money to be able to help these kids have a good year.
Yeah, inflation has cooled, but those prices are still high, burden on families, so we're doing what we can to help out. You'll be so inspired by what this community is capable of.
I love this community impact. I'm glad that we are so involved in the community as well. So
all right.
It's what we're here for.
How about the school year being right around the corner? I mean, you as parents, are you ready? Are you like, okay?
The stuff's already coming up. We got the big box of supplies that are coming in daily.
He has more of the problems. We're just doing half-day preschool this year, so
the year before you know.
Yeah. So I think I'm on the good side of things here.
All right, hey Josh, thanks.
You bet.
Monday, News 3 Now's back to school supply drive. Thanks, Josh. All right, let's check in with Savannah now. She's here with your first warn forecast. Got an alert day to talk about. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, guys. Yeah, we have 2 alert days today and tomorrow. We could see a few different rounds of strong to even severe thunderstorms all across southern Wisconsin. The best chance still thinking that's going to stay southwest of even the Platteville area where the slight risk is. That's a level 2 out of 5. But we do have a couple days in a row today, tomorrow, and even into Thursday where we have this widespread marginal risk. Isolated to scattered strong to severe storms remain in the forecast. There will be a line or a cluster of thunderstorms that's going to form out west as that tracks in. I think the best chance of severe weather, Iowa, and then weakening as it makes its way into northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. We could still see a couple. Even into Thursday, though, this is the day 3 outlook. I think there will be changes in this, probably going to shift this a little bit further south towards the Illinois-Wisconsin border, so not calling for alert day conditions on Thursday, but the first warn weather team watching that closely. We might have to do that as we get into tomorrow. So today, all those, that line cluster of thunderstorms and also showers that forms out west, that moves in as we head into the late afternoon, early evening. This is looking at about 1 p.m. Still tracking in by the time we're heading into 2-3. I think this model could show this a little bit earlier than what will happen later this afternoon, evening, but a secondary round could come into play overnight into early Wednesday morning. Gusty winds, also some heavy rain. Those are going to be the big threats to look out for. Can't rule out isolated hail and a very isolated tornado threat, but that will, for the most part, track southwest of here. I think we could see some isolated thunderstorms into the Madison area, too. Humidity, moisture, and then also some lift. We do have some of that. The best storm energy, though, that's one of those key ingredients needed to support strong to severe storms, stays southwest, at least the better numbers. 63 currently in Madison, so temperatures all around the area are in the mid to upper 60s, a little bit below what we had yesterday, but near normal. Heat index values this afternoon. Temperatures are going to climb near 90, but the heat index could be in the mid to even upper 90s. The heat could impact and play a role on thunderstorms and kind of limit what we're able to see out there. But we'll be near 90, so not only the storm chance, but also the heat and humidity going to be out there for southern Wisconsin today and tomorrow. 87 Thursday. The heat breaks down a little bit, but overall in the next 10 days, we stay above average.
Savannah, thank you so much. In health news, as Fibroids Awareness Month comes to an end, we're taking a look at what the condition is and what signs to watch out for. Fibroids are tumors that grow in the wall of the uterus. Health experts say while most are non-cancerous and some are even asymptomatic, people with fibroids can experience pain, prolonged and heavy menstrual cycles, and even anemia. Experts say if your period causes you to stay home from work or other events because you're concerned about bleeding too much, that's a sign you should get evaluated for fibroids. If you find out you have the condition, you should know your options. One Harris poll shows 53% of women diagnosed with fibroids are offered a hysterectomy. Only 20% are offered other, less invasive options. Experts say it's important to talk to your doctor about all of your options and your plans before making a decision.
6:50 coming up in the morning sprint. Who we're expecting to hear from at a hearing today about the attempted killing of Donald Trump.
But first, take a look who's 3. Happy birthday, Aria.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
What's up? You need some windows?
Hey folks, you call the experts? Right now with Felco, get free installation and no interest for 5 years. Call now.
Call 866 for Felco.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardiance at each day's start. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C.
Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects may include ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of infection in your legs or feet. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with the big story to tell.
Drive into summer with a new Honda Accord Hybrid, CR-V Hybrid, or the all-new Civic Hybrid. Take a vacation, staycation, or just a weekend drive with the windows down. Whatever you do, make it epic with Honda. The 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. So act now. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
My heart was failing because of blood clots in my lungs. I'm Mike, and that was my diagnosis. But only my team at Northwestern Medicine had the solution to save me.
Mike's team performed a breakthrough technique to clear the clots deep in his lungs. Tiny balloons were used to gently restore blood flow, giving Mike a new lease on life. Northwestern Medicine is a leader in second opinions for all heart and vascular conditions. If you've been diagnosed with a complex heart or vascular condition, we have something to offer. Northwestern Medicine. Better.
Joe Biden made Kamala Harris border czar to fix immigration. First, she ignored it.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point.
Then she just lied.
The border is secure.
10 million illegal immigrants. Migrant crime out of control. Fentanyl kills thousands.
We have a secure border.
Kamala Harris. Failed, weak, dangerously liberal.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer, only on News 3 Now.
6:53, time for the morning sprint.
In-person absentee voting starts today. To get an absentee ballot, you'll need to show a valid ID. If you're not sure whether you have what's required, you can find a list of valid IDs on the City of Madison's website. There, you'll also find a list of early voting locations. This form of voting ends the Sunday before the August 13th primary.
Madison police are looking for this man this morning. They say he sexually assaulted a woman over the weekend. It happened on a bike path near Carpenter Street just after 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. Police say he grabbed the woman from behind while inappropriately touching himself. He was last seen on an electric skateboard on the path in the area of Shopko Drive and Aberg Avenue. If you know where he is or know who he is, Call Madison area Crime Stoppers.
And Madison police are also searching for 3 teens suspected in a robbery early Monday morning. This was on Tree Lane. They say the teens robbed a man when they met to exchange shoes in a prearranged sale. The man said the teens surrounded his vehicle and that 2 of them pointed a gun at him. He sped away and crashed into another car. Anyone with information is asked to contact Madison area Crime Stoppers.
A Fond du Lac man will spend 7 days in jail for threatening a talk show host and a member of the Wisconsin legislature. In an email to the radio host, James Stearns threatened to kill any legislator that voted in favor of arming teachers. Stearns also sent an email to a legislator saying that if he voted to arm teachers, he'd be a dead man in 60 days. Stearns also has to pay a $500 fine.
Later today, the new acting director of the U.S. Secret Service will face questions about the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. A Senate committee will ask Ronald Rowe about the agency's own investigation into its actions the day of the shooting. Excerpts from Rowe's testimony show he's expected to tell lawmakers that he cannot defend why the roof the shooter positioned himself on was not secured.
The Park Fire in California is now the 6th largest wildfire in state history. Cal Fire says it's burned more than 370,000 acres. The agency says firefighters are starting to get the upper hand on the fire, though. It's one of several raging in multiple states. Meanwhile, the man suspected of causing the park fire has been charged with arson.
Temperatures are going to warm to near 90 this afternoon. The heat index values, those could be near and in the mid to upper 90s. So not only the heat, but also the severe weather that we could see both today and tomorrow. 2 alert days in the forecast. Gusty winds, heavy rain. Those are going to be the main threats we could see across southern Wisconsin. Thinking the better chance right now, still looking to be southwest of southern Wisconsin. But guys, that doesn't mean we can't see a couple of isolated severe storms. So people just need to have several ways to get watches and warnings if those do get issued later.
All right. Well, Savannah, thank you so much for that update.
Welcome.
Again, stay weather aware.
Another news and weather update in 30 minutes.